Welcome to the Business Mama podcast, where we chat about creating a business that supports and flows with your family and with your life, not the other way around. Hi, I'm your host, Annelise. I'm a marketing agency owner and a mother of 3 little ones. I'll be bringing you conversations with successful women in business, as well as practical marketing strategies and tips that you can action right away. So let's get into it. It becomes apparent to me that well-being is often misunderstood and neglected. I think as mothers, we often put ourselves last, and as business owners then the trend just continues. We'll stay up late and we'll go above and beyond or more to keep that client happy, and we'll move our boundaries and we'll push and push our way beyond what we thought our limits were. But it's not good. It's not good for our health and it's not good for our businesses. Ultimately, it's not even good for our clients. If you can't sustain the momentum, then you're going to stop running your business, or worse, go out of business. Your clients and customers then that you worked so hard for lose as well. Over the past few months, I have been researching wellness and well-being. For the past 10 years, I've worked in fitness as a hobby, and I have a diploma of fitness, and I'm super passionate about health. I exercise most days, I eat very limited sugar, and I'm super conscious about what I put into my body. And until recently, doing this plus sleeping as well as I can has been my frame of well-being. But it's so much broader than that. For the longest time, I've promoted life balance, and not in that everything in our lives is equal, but that we have an internal harmony between the things that we allow in our lives. But for some reason, I hadn't really put this in the category of wellness. I think sometimes it kind of takes the right language to make something click. I even have a level 1 wellness coach qualification, and seriously, sometimes my lack of thought process surprised me. Anyway, the more I've been reading and the more I've realized that wellness and well-being is centered around the categories of life that I've unknowingly been monitoring anyway, but not in such a focused or strategic or detailed way. So in my reading, I've come across the University of Maryland have developed these 8 different dimensions of wellness in a guide to living well, and I'll pop the link in the show notes. So the 8 dimensions of wellness, according to this document, are physical, social, emotional, intellectual, vocational, environmental, spiritual, and financial. So, of course, the physical side, we're talking about all the areas that I mentioned before, about diet and exercise and sleep, but it also goes deeper than this and includes making sure that you're getting medical checkups and immunizations and safe sex. So all of those things are really super important, but they're just the tip of the iceberg in terms of wellness and well-being. So social wellness is about connecting with the people around you and your community. So you can't do this without empathy and having an understanding and an appreciation of your own and others' diversity. I think you also can't do this without a willingness to be active within your community and be a willing participant in initiatives that actually improve the lives of others and yourself, and also contribute to developing meaningful relationships. Emotional wellness then is the next category and includes the ability to be able to experience and cope well with your feelings. It includes how you feel about yourself, your self-esteem, and your self-acceptance. And I think that self-care is going to be a really big part of this. The great thing about self-care is that it looks very different for everybody, but often it's time that you take out for yourself. And having that alone time is going to help in distilling how you really feel about certain things. So, self-care can allow you the time to get clarity and then put things in place that you need to build your resiliency. This might be fostering inner resources or resetting expectations and knowing when to ask for help, even. It's funny because the time for me to sit by myself is at night when the work is done and the kids are in bed. And just a little while ago, I was laughing at a meme that a client had put up about getting alone time and then regretting it because it means a late night and then less sleep and then being even more tired the next day. And I can totally relate to that, and judging by the amount of comments on her post, so could many of you as well. So the next dimension is intellectual wellness. For me, this is really important. I need to be learning, and I'm always doing some type of course or study or reading. I found that I can't even read fiction anymore unless I'm on holidays because there's just not enough time in the day, and I really want to be feeding my brain. This dimension of wellness also includes critical thinking and making decisions and exploring new ideas. It's about lifelong learning and curiosity, and it can outwork itself in formal ways, but also really unstructured ways, like just having a discussion with a friend. The next one's vocational wellness, and it's all about participating in work that gives you a personal satisfaction. This is super, super critical, I think. I think especially for young mums. There's no way that I wanted to leave my babies in care and go to do a job that wasn't fulfilling. And yeah, I get that sometimes you just have to do what it takes to put food on the table. So I'm not saying that you shouldn't do what you need to do. But what I am saying is that you have a passion, if you have a passion, to pursue it. So even if that is within your current role, if you're working for someone else and there are different projects that you can work on or different departments or just something that brings that personal satisfaction into your work. Vocational wellness means that your work contributes to the enrichment of your life, and it should. We spend so much time in our work. And that it also means that we're taking a proactive approach to planning our career. The next one's environmental wellness. I keep going to say this is really important because I'm just seriously so passionate about wellness and well-being. Because being well is going to impact every single area of your life. It's going to impact your happiness, the people around you's happiness, and your impact on the world. It's that important. Okay, so environmental wellness. This is focused on being aware and respectful of our environment and realizing the way that our environment positively or negatively affects our well-being. We as a people are 100% responsible for the state that we find our world in. And this includes the quality of our air and water and earth that surrounds us and that influence the social and natural and built environments that affect us and our well-being. This is such a massive topic and one that I hope that we can chat about more in the future. The next is spiritual wellness. So there's more to us than a physical body and an intellectual mind, full stop. Spiritual wellness involves being aware of our spiritual nature and having meaning and purpose in our lives. For me, that means being a Christian and having God in my life, but this area of well-being also incorporates gratitude and self-reflection. Lastly is financial wellness. Our world is run on money. It's inevitable, we need it, our well-being depends on it, but what does that mean that financial wellness actually looks like? Well, financial wellness means having a healthy relationship with money. Money is a tool. We should use and control it, not the other way around. We should live within our means, make informed decisions, and make smart, short, and long-term goals. There's no one right way to do this. We're all unique, and in money, that's not going to be any different. However, there will be a right and wrong ways for you to deal with money, And it's important that you do some work to figure out what those things are sooner rather than later, because there's going to be a right way for you and you'll be able to find out what that is. So that is the 8 dimensions. And the key to all of this is going to be creating habits that actually work for you. It's all well and good to know what the dimensions of wellness are, but if you don't incorporate them into your life, you're not going to be any better off. So the way that I do this, and with my husband, we try and sit down every week and do a 5-minute rundown and actually score ourselves on the areas for that week. And then monthly, we'll set goals in relation to each one and schedule in the actual tasks. No, we don't always get it right. A lot of times we forget, but that is the aim. And it does sound like a lot of work, but most of the things we actually need to do or want to do in each area are now habits. So, for example, in physical health, we get our organic vegetables delivered and we already know that each night we're going to go to the gym, and that's scheduled in the calendar. The cool thing is that every person's plan is going to look totally different, even though we're all working on the same 8 dimensions. And if you're having weekly or monthly check-ins or whatever's going to work for you, then you can actually see what's working and what's not working, and you can tweak it and then make it better and keep going. So that is my challenge to you this week. So sit down and have a think about each area and how you're going in each area. Be really honest and give yourself a rating, say 1 to 5 or 1 to 10, and figure out then what needs changing and then change it, because you're the driver and you get to choose. And that's really exciting that we can control our well-being. And that doesn't mean we can control everything, but with those 8 categories, we have a good head start. So that's it from me this week, mamas. Have a really great week. I would love to hear your comments, and I will chat to you soon.
Thank you for listening to the Business Mama podcast. I hope you got some actionable tips that you can implement in your business right away. Please, please, please rate and subscribe, and then head on over to mama.digital to continue the conversation and let me know what you thought. Have a really wonderful week, and if you'd like to come and say hi, come to our Facebook group, Business Mamas. See you there.